Are you ready for tips and tricks with Miss Linda? That's me. Well, my tip for today is actually how to properly use a pair of scissors. There are so many different types of scissors. I'm going to start out with our basic scissors. These actually are made now to where they're bigger, so my hand fits in them. When you're cutting a curve and you have a big piece of paper like this, to go in here and try to get in there is just ridiculous. Feel free to cut off the larger piece and put it off to the side. This way you have a handle, and the way I'm going to show you how to use the scissors, you'll need some rotation movement here. When you're cutting curves, let the scissors chomp and turn the paper. You'll see how easy it goes. Now, I'm here. Feel free to chomp that off. You don't need it. It gets in your way when you're trying to do this movement. All right, now I have a curve. I'm going to go slow, turn my paper. Did you see that? No problems. And around. Now I'm going to show you what happens when you chomp and don't move. You get these little square pieces. See? It's not as fluent. Now this is the way you learn how to use the scissors because younger hands need to get used to it. What I'm doing here is amazing. 1, 2, 3. Let's try a bigger pair of scissors. Off to the side, scissors number 1. Then we have the large scissors. These are actually a little harder to work with, but they have a longer blade on them so you can get more out of it. Did you notice I skipped that little one there on both sides? Sometimes it's easier to go back for these smaller areas and just do them separately. All right, and now we have how to use a curved and 2 scissors. This is points. Again, I chose leaves because they have that nice organic shape. This leaf has points. We're going to be using the scissors in a different way. These scissors are good when you're doing short little things like this, if you need to just chop, chop, chop. They're not great because you're squeezing them. They're more like, almost like an outdoor scissors that you use. I'm going to go back to my big scissors. This paper is a lot thinner than what I used. And again, I have 2 pieces stapled together because when you cut 2 at once, guess what happens? You get 2 for 1. Sometimes you like one more than the other. All right, this is again rounded, so I'm going to turn mine. You're going to use this a little differently. You're going to cut in and then do your curve. Cut in and then do your curve. Curve. And here I'm coming to a valley. We're going to go down. When we get to the end, that's when we're going to do our turn. Get that over my thumb. And it comes out perfectly. You can also pre-cut all of your points. Up, there we go. And that way, it makes it a little easier to get those points. You see the points on the back? And I'm getting 2, oops, excuse me. I am getting 2 for 1. So we're going to move on to the next little scissor trick. Here we go. This right here is a larger piece of paper, and I want it in half. So what I'm going to do is take my finger, and if you don't have your finger, you can use your pencil. And your pencil. This is a scissors, Miss Linda. You can use your scissors to hold it in place. Then you want to go directly up the middle and go to one side to the one side while still holding the middle, and you'll get almost a perfect crease. So I am going to use my larger scissors. Cut slowly. When you're doing something like this, chop, chop, chop is going to make it look chop, chop, chop. One more. And now we have 2 equal pieces of paper. So we've talked about the small scissors, the long scissors, the little choppy scissors. Then you have small ones for when you're doing really, really tiny itty bitty things that you really need something small. Not many of us have these around the house. They're used primarily for sewing. And speaking of sewing, these are called pinking shears. You can see the little zigzag design. They make cutting cloth so easy, and it doesn't start to fray apart. So I got one more for you. These can cut through metal. They're more of a craft scissors. I love these scissors. I use them for everything. Scissors galore. Now it's your turn to learn how to use them properly. Enjoy yourself.